Welcome to our 2024-25 Falcons Wrestling Season Preview. Being joined by Wrestling Head Coach Kevin Cook, back now for season number 8. My name is Matt Menzl. Before we talk about the here and now, quickly just recap last winter, your thoughts on the way that season went.
Yeah, last year was a learning year for me, as we were really young. We graduated a big class and we were really young, and we struggled at the beginning of the season. Our dual record kind of reflected a little bit of the ups and downs that we had at the season. We weren't very proud of the dual record portion, but the guys really peaked at the end of the season, and we wrestled really well. Taking third in the CCIW championship was great performance for us, the best performance we've had in the CCIW. So that was really exciting. The guys wrestled really well that day, and at the end of the season, we fell short of getting anybody to the national tournament, but we had 4 placers at the regional, the national qualifying regional, which is the highest we've had in a while as well. So at the end of the year, the guys wrestled really good, and so it was good that we had a slow start, but we finished well, we peaked, and that's kind of what we're looking into. We're losing another great group of talent, and we just keep bringing in. We're going to be pretty young this year, and we're going to have a lot of inexperience and young, and I'm excited for that, because I think we're gonna have the same kind of thing where we're gonna start really slow, maybe struggle in some of the duels. Guys are gonna work hard, focus on the process, and peak at the right time, and that's kind of what we're looking for coming into this year.
So as you turn the page on last season, and as you mentioned, you look at the here and now, and you talked about the process. What has been the focus with this young group here in preseason?
Buy-in, belief. We're going to be a very young team, and we're going to have a lot of sophomores that didn't start last year. They're going to have an opportunity to potentially get a varsity spot and start. And I want to see what that growth is from last year's the ups and downs that they had, probably a lot of the downs, to this year taking that experience and getting into the varsity part of it and wrestling really well at the end of the year. So it's going to be exciting. But we'll see how things progress. Like I said, I think we're going real slow right now as the season starts off, and we're going to build into it. Obviously, with wrestling, it's a physical sport, so we got to make sure we're keeping as healthy as we possibly can. Our numbers are a little low this year, and so that's going to be another factor for us, is putting the guys in the right spots to fill the weight classes and to compete at a high level.
Obviously, it's not going to be an overnight success. It's a process, as we've talked about. But do you like the daily process you're seeing here in training camp?
Yeah, absolutely. We're having a lot of individual sessions that sometimes we haven't had in the past, which is really cool to see the guys taking the initiative to do the extra workouts. That shows maturity. It shows growth. That shows last year wasn't the result I wanted, so I got to do more. If I want to climb that ladder, those rungs of success, I've got to do more, and I've seen that early in the season, and that's pretty exciting. So we're it's good to see that young guys doing that, and we're starting to get the leadership that we need to have guys to grow and to get better throughout the season. I'm starting to see that leadership come through.
Is that a challenge when you look at this roster, when you have 3 juniors, 3 seniors, trying to develop that leadership for guys that are taking on much bigger roles?
Yes, that's another challenge is just the leadership part, and who we don't have captains on wrestling. It's kind of, we have leaders, and the leaders everybody around them's got to get better. And we're starting to see that guys are pushing each other, keeping each other accountable, and it's good to see. And leadership starting to come out, and it starts with them, right? If you want to be a leader, you got to start with yourself. You got to do the extra, and they're doing it, and other guys are seeing it, and they're coming and doing it, and now you can build off of that. And it's pretty exciting to see that we're starting to see that leadership, and that's going to take us a long ways. Especially we got such a young group. Yeah, we have two seniors and a handful of juniors, but mostly everybody else is going to be sophomores and freshmen.
You look at that senior group, okay, you have Corey Bagby on the list. You have TJ Mackey, Peyton Smith, 29 and 15 a year ago. What are the expectations for those trio?
Well, Corey's, he's a little injury, had an ACL injury last year, so he's going to be coming off of injury, so he's in rehab, working hard to get back for us. So his is in here just kind of more of a coach right now, a coach's assistant and working with groups. TJ Mackey has been a couple years now, and getting him, he's just showing by example, really working hard, showing by example, getting better. He did not have the season he wanted last year, and he knows it, so he's got to do that extra we talked about. And then Peyton, yeah, he's the guy that's, placed last year. He's got high expectations of himself. And he fell short of his goal, getting to the pinnacle, the national tournament. He knows he can do it. I think last year really shown that he can compete with the best guys in the country. And now this year he's like, well, I'm just going to go do it this year, So that's excited for him, and just leading by example, getting the work done, getting in here, do extra. And it's going to take us a long ways.
How about a guy like Cole Ramos? Okay, as a freshman, 16-9, 9-2 in duels. What steps can he take in year number 2?
Well, he's doing extra right now, so it's good to see. And that's that maturity factor. He is a talented wrestler. Obviously, be the rookie of the CCIW, the rest, incoming freshman of the CCIW is pretty awesome. But same thing, he had some setbacks. He didn't lose much at high school, and he had some losses that he shouldn't have had last year, and he knows that, so he's doing the extra to make that happen. He knows he's capable of doing some special things, and I've seen the maturity with him, and that's really excited with him, is like the getting that maturity, that growth, and going into the one more year. He says, I'm not having no sophomore slump. That's what he said. So he's already aware of the sophomore slump. He's not having it. He's working hard, making sure he's doing the daily routine of living that championship lifestyle.
Finally, when we look at at least the early portion of the schedule, after the alumni duel coming up here, season starts on the 2nd of November at the Stevens Point Pointer Open before you guys are home against Carthage Wheaton on the 15th of November. Then you have the 30th CUW Open on the 23rd of November. What do you hope you see, at least in this first month or two, as you continue to grow? What are you hoping to see in that first month or so?
Kind of took the words there. It's just growth. Just growth. Like I said, we're a young team. We're excited for the alumni. It's kind of a fun night, but also kind of the inner squad where we kind of see where guys are at and what guys need to work on, and kind of seeing where we're at there. The Pointer Open is it's going to be an open. We're not going to take the whole team. It's going to be an individual, guys that need mat time, guys that are healthy, guys that are freshmen in a first look, because it's a really tough collegiate tournament. Just that option for them. But then we get into Lakeland Scramble. We'll take everybody to that, and there's a lot of teams in our conference that are there. So it's just kind of see where you're at right away, what we need to work on, how can we move forward. And then we get into our duels. We have a tri-duel here with Wheaton and Carthage. Carthage, we lost a close duel to them last year, and we won a close duel against Wheaton, and that's what our duels are going to be again this year. They're going to be close. We know that up and down. We've got some really talented guys in across the country, nationally. But we also know we have some holes and we have some weaknesses. So it's kind of trying to put the guys in the right position to get us to compete in those duels. And that was last year's difference, is we didn't win those duels. Hopefully this year we got a little bit more experience, so we can win some of those closer duels that we didn't do last year. So yeah, and we get into the duels, and then we obviously got the Concordia Open, where the season we have a motto for the Concordia Open: the season starts now, right? And you wrestle in there, and if you can do well in the Concordia Open, you're setting yourself up for a great season. And because there's so many nationally ranked guys and such a tough tournament, that the season starts now, and you can see where you're at. If you can place in that, you're going to have a great season. And if you don't place in it, well, now we just build off of it.
Can't believe it's here. Coach, as always, appreciate the time. All the best this season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And for more on the wrestling team, be sure to check out CUWFalcons.com.